Dur 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 dur. I'm a dinosaur. Yeah, most bad A dinosaur on the entire planet here to tell you that you're watching a cool dude video. And actually, you just can't see much anything because the camera's in my face. But that's beside the point. Let me ask you this, huh? Look into my eye. Yeah, look into that. How come you have not hit that bell or subscribed yet, okay? Don't make me come into that house, burn down your house, and then just eat your brains out, okay? I can do that. I'm a T-Rex. I'm awesome. Hey, Rex! Well, eat this uppercut. Oh, no. God, the things I do for these videos, it's crazy. It really is crazy. Having to fight off dinosaurs, having to, just make sure everything is right, and also just keep recording videos for you guys, and also have them published and uploaded so that you guys can enjoy it in these times. I mean, it's a lot of hard work. Alright, let's get on with the cool review. What's up, everybody? This is Cool Dude, and welcome to, once again, Cool Reviews. And today, we are going to be reviewing one cool classic. And this holds a very special place in my heart, because, as with many people, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's one of the very first movies I've ever seen, in general, that I've really adored and I've clinged on to for as long as I can remember, and it really fed into my, just absolute love for dinosaurs. And I think a lot of people, when they grew up around this age, can agree with me. I mean, I didn't grow up around this age, but, like, I watched the movie. You get it. I mean, for the people who actually watched it around their age when they were children. I mean, I did too, but, it's a different time period. It's sloppy. Anyway, and of course, by now, you already know what it is, because it's in the goddamn title, but it is Jurassic Park. Okay, yeah, you get the general gist of it. As always, hit it until it has nowhere to go. Hit it until it's like nothing but a pile of yellow mush, because gosh darn it, I need you notified of my videos. Just hit the bell, please. Thank you. Yeah, I really have issues. So, anyway, let's get on with the review. So, the story, without spoilers, although I think most people have already seen this movie, unless you've been living under a rock, or just born yesterday. But, you know what? It's for cool review. I'll describe it still. I'll be nice. So, the movie opens up, and, Robert Muldoon, which is the, like, a soldier, velociraptor expert, working for John Hammond in this, Jurassic Park, he is helping, he's along with his crew, bringing in a velociraptor, and you see this really awesome sequence where the raptor eats one of the guys, and they try to save him, and he's like, shoot, so many times, and then the guy gets eaten, and I'm just sitting there like, this is one of the most dope openings to a movie ever, especially one like Jurassic Park. I'm already into it, so I think that's a good job of hooking the audience up with it. Then we catch up with Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler. They're together with all these other diggers in a dinosaur digging bone site. And this guy, he's got this whole techno gadget thing, and he's like, 2 more years of evolution, we don't have to dig anymore. But of course, Alan Grant and Ellie, they're like, no, we're not about that. We like to dig really, like the real legit stuff. We like to dig real bones. And hilarity ensues for a bit until Mr. Richard Attenborough himself, John Hammond, steps into the picture and is easily one of my favorite performances in the entire movie. I think he does great. Just putting that out right now, and we haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet of the movie. But anyway, so he's telling him all about the park, and he's like, I've created an island on the coast of Costa Rica. And, of course, the famous line of, spared no expense, is said in that scene with them together. I can't say the same, spare no expense for this channel, though. I mean, I did spare some expense, but, like, it didn't spare no expense. Anyway, so yeah, John Hammond tells him all about the park, and he says, I need people to, approve of this park before anybody can, go in, because nobody wants to go in without any approval. That's just dangerous, and you'll see how it's even more dangerous when the movie actually gets going. And, Alan Grant also started like, I don't really know. We've been doing a lot of time digging, but John Hammond says that he will give him a lot of dough if they actually agree to, you know, get on the island. So they're like, oh, happiest day of my life, hashtag money, what? Okay, no, I'm sorry, I was terrible. Okay, let's ignore that, let's bypass that and let's carry on with the review. So then we catch up with our main bad guy, well, I mean, the closest thing to a bad guy this movie has, Mr. Damn it, what's his name? Nedry. I can't believe I didn't remember. But yeah, Dachshund, one of the members of InGen, comes in with this huge briefcase worth of money, and he says, you know what, you need to steal these embryos because, you know, they've got us beat, and we need to, you know, beat them. They're like our competitors. You see what I mean? So, then he gets the world's famous Barbasol shaving cream. It's, I highly think that Barbasol had millions of profit, millions of dollars, just for that one scene, because Jurassic Park actually put a can of Barbasol in their movie, and gosh darn, is that not worth recognition? Sorry, I had to get that off my chest. I feel like that needed to be addressed. So yeah, and then he basically gets assigned to steal the dinosaur embryos. But then we finally meet up with everyone's favorite stuttering Jeff Goldblum, also known as Ian Malcolm. And then we meet the lawyer, and we also get to meet up with his John Hammond's grandkids later on when they actually do go into the park. But we meet them a little later. But right now on the plains, we just get these people. And they finally make it to the park, and of course, the legendary John Williams music kicks in. And just for right now, like I did with Onward, I'm just gonna get one good thing out of the way straight up. The John Williams score is absolutely amazing, but that goes without saying because John Williams is a musical genius, I think. Although a lot of his music nowadays, I don't know about anybody else, it's starting to sound a little bit of the same. But still, his score is definitely awesome in this movie, and it's like, it's one of the best scores I've ever heard in a movie ever. But that's just my opinion. If you don't agree with it, it's fine. It's just my opinion on the review. But anyway, moving on from that, they finally make it onto the park, and he's just amazed. And a lot of people in that era would be amazed too, because this is one of the first films that introduced CGI, and seeing, you know, these cool, massive dinosaurs moving around was absolutely amazing back then. I still think the effects hold up today. Not, like, great. I'm not the CGI, but, like, the CGI holds up fine, but, like, it's not fantastic. But I still think it holds up pretty nicely. So, and then he's just amazed. He's like, how the hell do you make this? And John Hammond, he actually shows them how the dinosaurs are made. And they go on to the visitor center, and through a nice little detour with Mr. DNA, old cartoony son of a gun, they actually get to show how the dinosaurs are made and how, you know, the scientists are able to create dinosaurs. And then they go into the lab, and, you know, they get to learn more about dinosaurs after Alan Grant watches a baby velociraptor being hatched. Another amazing scene, and they explain how, you know, they're all female, the dinosaurs are all female, and they don't really breed that much. But then things start to go wrong as we meet Samuel L. Jackson, Mr. Hold On To Your Butts, meme-worthy material right there in the movie. We get to meet Dennis Nedry, who has snuck onto this place, of course, as you discussed, trying to steal the dinosaur embryos. And when he finally gets the chance, when the visitors go on to the, you know, the little jeeps touring around the park, Nedry finally takes the chance to steal the embryos at night. And then that's when the journey begins. Bum bum bum. So, after Nedry steals the embryos, the T-Rex gets loose in one of my favorite movie scenes of all time. It's the perfect layer of suspense, action, and just overall great effects, especially with the animatronics. It's so amazing. And then the rest of the movie is basically them trying to escape from these monstrous dinosaurs while, you know, Ellie Sattler and others are trying to convince John Hammond that this is a bad idea. And by the end of the movie, they escape from the island. And, of course, he had decided not to endorse your park. So, let's move on to the good and the bad. There's very, very few bad stuff, because this movie is a classic, like I said. Like, I highly, highly recommend it for anybody. Even if you're not really a dinosaur movie person, I still think you should watch it. But let's move on to all the good things. Number one, the characters. The actors are great. The characters are even better. I just love them all, except for maybe the lawyer, but he was mostly just, like, sidelined again. Nedry is a bit, you know, a little much. But like I said, I think he's just there to serve the purpose of the movie, not necessarily to be entertaining. The damn animatronics. Like, okay, I know this movie pioneered in CGI, but I cannot emphasize enough how amazing these animatronics are. I would have loved loved to be on set of this movie, to see those gigantic and absolutely amazing animatronics brought to the silver screen, especially the T-Rex. Like, oh my god, the animatronics are amazing. Stan Winston and ILM, like, those guys are absolutely amazing, and the fact that they were able to make these huge models, I think deserves to be praised. I know, like I said, pioneer CGI, not gonna take that away from it, but I think the animatronics stand out above all. And it makes for amazing visuals when it's like, it feels so like flawlessly, you know, edited to where it, like, T-Rex is really there. It has a good mix of animatronic and CGI, which is a huge problem with the other movies, Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom, which didn't have nearly enough of that. But that's another story when we finally get to those movies, which I may or may not will, but for right now, animatronics are amazing. Can't emphasize that enough. And again, the story, I think, is really, really good, even though it's adapted from Michael Crichton's book, but there is some major differences between the book and the actual, you know, movie, which I think helps make them both stand out equal. They help make them stand out from each other. They're not just the same. I mean, they're the same in concept, but, like, the actual stuff in them, I think, helps make them stand out from each other as different Jurassic Park interpretations. Again, the John Williams music, amaziano, and again, like, the visuals are great. Like, even with those without the dinosaurs, the sets that they actually visit and the sets that they create is just, I think, great. And the island itself, I think, looks really nice. I could see this being an actual park, like, with all the dinosaurs and stuff roaming around. Like, the island is just beautiful, and I just love everything about this movie. It just looks and feels so great. And it's like another thing, the feel. It's like, it has a nice adventure, suspense type feel. It doesn't feel like a typical monster movie. It feels like a fun, like, adventure film. I say fun when this movie has a bunch of dinosaurs killing people. And that's another thing. The dinosaurs killing people. Iconic. It's like, it feels like this movie was, like, made to be iconic. There's so many iconic lines that people quote today. There's so many iconic scenes that get referenced. This movie has just entered into the realm of legendary status for a film. Sorry, I should calm down a bit. Well, let's move on. Let's move on to the few flaws before I start to just bounce all the way out across the room. The bad stuff. Like I said, CGI, I don't want to say it's bad, but it's like, definitely compared to, like, the other movies, even the movies that, like, came out before and maybe, like, after it, in terms of CGI, were much better. But, like, for the time, these were really amazing effects. But, like, nowadays, I still think they hold up pretty nicely. But again, it's an older movie, so, like, they, you know, they aren't the best at all. And also, another problem with the movie, which I know a lot of the characters' lines are iconic, but, like, some of the actual characters themselves, like Samuel L. Jackson, the lawyer, even kind of Robert Muldoon, they're not really well developed at all. They're like, you get to see them a little bit, you know, like, they have a few lines here and there, but as characters, I don't really think they were developed, like, to their fullest capacity. And again, Dennis Nedry. But I guess Dennis Nedry's more understandable because he's the villain and you're not supposed to feel sorry for him. He's just a greedy bastard. But everyone else is like, yeah, they're just kind of underdeveloped. But I think it's perfectly fine because again, the good heavily outweighs the bad in this film, like, for sure. And I guess one last little teeny tiny complaint is that like I said, John Hammond's grandkids comes into this film after they go into the visitor center and they're about to tour the park. One of them being John Hammond's granddaughter, not daughter. And oh my god, not that she's annoying, she's a good character, she's quippy. But, oh my god, the screaming does get really annoying after a while. But that's probably just my personal gripe. But I just think the screaming, it gets a little bit much at times. Not that I would not do the same if I was stuck on an island with murderous dinosaurs. In fact, I would probably scream so hard that my vocal cords would go so high that people would wonder if I had balls or not. I'm not that courageous a person. Yeah, that is really all that I can say about this film. I mean, like, It's a classic, man. It easily gets a Nintendo Switch out of 5. 5 out of 5. Perfect movie. There are like a few flaws here and there, but like most of all, this is still one of the greatest films of all time, and it continues to be Steven Spielberg's highest grossing movie, which is definitely worthy of a praise. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap it up for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review of a little bit of an older film. I know there's a lot of newer stuff that I could do, and I'll get to them, but I'd like to, you know, step back and look at some of the classic films like this one, especially one that is so near and dear to my heart and a lot of other people's hearts. So I hopefully you enjoyed this trip back to the past. But until next time, stay cool everybody, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye, y'all.